This is a message to you on behalf of all Indian people. Hope my brown people don't get upset that I'm letting out our secret. But just so you guys know, Indian people are fully aware of what their accent sounds like. We don't actually need you we know exactly what it sounds like. We know it's not the coolest accent in the world, you know? You're never gonna see two Indian guys in a club standing around going, "Hey man, aren't we cool? Don't we sound really hip? We are going to meet all the bitches tonight. I'm pimping." You know, it's not gonna happen, you know? We know what it sounds like, you know? And don't think for 1 minute that we don't know that you're mocking us when we're not around. It's an accent. We're not deaf. Don't think when we walk into Home Depot and go, "Hello, I'm looking for paint." Yeah, it's right down that aisle over there, sir. Hey, Jim, did you hear that guy? He's looking for paint. 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 Hey, let's go have a cigarette and talk like this for half an hour. We know you're doing it, you bastards. But Indian people know what their accent's good for and what it's not good for. We know its limitations. You know what I mean? We know it's not good for getting laid. It's not gonna help you. "Hello, baby." Nothing's gonna happen for you. But you know what the Indian accent is good for? Cutting tension. You got a tense situation, pop in the Indian accent. Tension's gone. Picture a serious courtroom drama. "Your Honor, my client would like to plead guilty." Tension's gone. But white people, let me talk to you for a minute. White Canadian people, especially. Canadian white people, when I say Canadian, I mean you're Canadian, your parents are Canadian, your grandparents are Canadian, you're really Canadian. Canadian white people, you have an accent. And they're completely oblivious to it. You do? I don't know if you're aware of it, sir. You may not have it, you look like a rich Canadian white guy. I don't know, you know what I mean? You're a minority. But Canadian people have an accent. And it's funny when you watch white Canadian people talk, especially white Canadian guys, they have this funny-ass way of talking. They talk, the way they speak, they make everything sound like it's the most matter-of-fact thing you've ever heard in your life. And when they talk to you, it looks like they can't control their head. It looks like they're part bobblehead when they say stuff to you. Because they'll come up to you and they'll go, "Jesus Christ." Did you get a load of the jugs on that one? Oh, yeah, oh, yeah. They do. It's funny to watch. And white people are sitting there going, "No, we don't have an accent. What are you talking about?" I can prove to you, white folks, that you have an accent. It's a pretty bold statement for a brown man. But I can prove to you. White people, when you swear, you sound like donkeys. You do, because you'll say stuff like, "Fuck off." Bullshit. Oh, oh. You talk funny, man. It's okay. This is a nice room tonight, you know? There's all kinds of different people here. I love that. When I look out in the audience, I see black, white, Asian, just everybody having a good time, hanging out. Brown. We fall under Asian as well. South. But it's nice, you know, different mix of audience like this and people at home, different kinds of people enjoying this in their living room or wherever. This type of thing's not going to be able to happen in about 300 years from now. Do you realize that? Because you realize that? If we make it to 300 years from now, do you realize there's not going to be any more white people? Not going to be any more black people? Everybody's going to be beige. And I don't care, I'm already beige, you know what I mean? It's not going to affect me at all. But it's true, the whole world's mixing. There's nothing you can do about it. Eventually, we're all going to become some sort of hybrid mix of Chinese and Indian. It's inevitable. They're the two largest populations in the world. So you could run from us now. But sooner or later, we're going to hump you. And I'm thinking if we're already going to mix anyway, we should start mixing now, you know? You know, ladies, take some chances. Sleep around a bit, you know? If you see that Indian comedian that you really want to have sex with, I say go for it. But it's true, the whole world's mixing, you know? And eventually, everybody look the same. But I'm thinking if we're all going to mix anyway, let's start mixing people now that would never normally mix. Just to see what we'll get. You know, hook up a Jamaican with an Italian. They could have little pastafarians, you know? I'm Indian. I could hook up with a Jewish girl. We could have little Hindus. Get a woman from the Philippines, a guy from Holland, little jalapenos. Guy from Cuba, a woman from Iceland, little ice cubes. A French and a Greek, freak. German and a Newfie, little goofies. You know what I mean? It's gonna happen. We might as well help it along. I used to go out with a Chinese girl. That was wicked going out with a Chinese girl. Could you imagine if her and I had gotten serious? Could you imagine that wedding? Do you know how much rice would have been at that wedding? Nobody'd be allowed to throw it at the bride and groom. Our parents would just freak out. What the hell are you doing? You're wasting the food. I told you not to invite white people to the wedding. They throw the bloody food around. Let's go to their weddings and throw mashed potatoes at them. It's gonna happen, man. My dad's been in this country for 40 years now. 40 years. And you know what's scary? Is I think my dad's turning into a redneck now. I swear to God, he's starting to say stuff that scares me, you know? I walked into my parents' house a couple of weeks ago. My dad was sitting there on the phone. He had the newspaper open in front of him. He had an ad circled. Somebody was selling a couch, right? So my dad's on the phone. He calls the ad. And on the other end of the phone, some Eastern European lady answered, and she couldn't speak any English. And all I hear is, "Hello, I'm calling about your couch." Hello? Hello? I want to know about your couch. Hello? Okay. I've said hello twice. I would like to purchase your couch. And no English? I'm sorry? And no English? Then why the hell did you answer the phone? You don't come to my country if you can't speak the language. Click. My dad looks at me and goes, "Immigrants." I go, "Dad, you're an immigrant." "Hey, you watch what you say to me." I think that's one thing that separates immigrant families from the regular Canadian families, you know? Doesn't matter where your parents are from. They weren't born in this country. They will whoop your ass when you're growing up, won't they? It doesn't matter. Where are your parents from? Ukraine. You know what I'm saying? They'll beat you with a cabbage roll. You know what I'm saying? They'll smack a pierogi upside your head if they have to. They'll beat you, right? Immigrant parents will beat their kids.